Welcome to the Popish Plot. I'm Jessica, and it's another episode of the Summer Book Club. Now, if you haven't been paying attention so far, a number of YouTubers are all reading the Handbook for Catholic Moms. If you go down below in the description, there'll be links to everyone else's episode on this particular chapter. And this is chapter 10 on the family banker, or money. And it points out at the beginning of this chapter that in most households, it is the mother who is the person in charge of the day-to-day finances. Now, if you've watched a lot of our episodes, you will know that Nate, for his day job, is an accountant, which of course means that I'm the one who does the day-to-day finances. No one wants to do what you do all day at work at home. Like, I had an aunt who was a janitor for a school. She'd occasionally hire people to clean her house. Not that she couldn't do it, just that's what I did all day. Why do I want to go home and do the same thing? So, I'm the person in charge of the day-to-day finances at our house. Now, it talks about, of course, the importance of having a budget and planning, being organized, making sure that every bill gets paid at the proper time so you're not getting fees and dings on your credit because you were late. It does suggest some different books and programs that you could use to help you on this. I've personally found that when I do too detailed of a budget, it doesn't work. Every time I have a line item budget where this is how much we have for food, this is how much we have for entertainment, this is how much we have for that, immediately something major will break down. So instead of having the budget for this, we need to go and rearrange things so that we can go and buy a new appliance or get new tires for our car or some other such thing. So I personally use a more loosely structured budget that involves still making sure you know how much is coming in and how much is going out, but not necessarily as detailed as the way that it works for some people. So find a way that works for you and your budget. She also again points out the importance of long-term goals, and in this case long-term planning, including once again reminding you about your will, reminding you about the importance of your insurance, savings plans for things like retirement, college, that all 4 tires that you need to get replaced because 3 of them somehow got destroyed on a road, and what's the point of having 1 tire that's different than everyone else, etc. And again, points out programs that might be helpful for you in working on this. Then talks about this time in which she was the victim of identity theft and pointing out different things you can do to help protect yourself, and if you find you are a victim of identity theft, to go and make sure everything gets done properly so that you get everything straightened out as quickly as possible. Also noting the fact that even if you are super careful with all your information, even if you are in a situation where you're like, I don't even think someone would want to steal my credit, which I find is important because I cannot go and ask my mom to buy gifts online. Because she insists that every time she goes online to a store, her identity gets taken. Now, coincidentally, she did go shopping online, and she did have some bogus charges that she then had to go and go through the bank and all that for. And as my mother is not the most tech-savvy person in my family, which we'll get to on the next chapter on the internet, I did ask her what site she was shopping from, simply because there are spots that they pretty much are phishing schemes to get your information. But this was a major site, so it was probably a coincidence that her online shopping and her identity theft happened at the same time. However, I cannot convince her of the fact that all that information that they probably took is already online places like your bank and from the government, and therefore you not putting in your credit card at a secure site isn't vastly increasing your odds of not having your identity stolen. So that's an important thing I have on my to-do list soon, to go and do some checks up with credit things, because I was informed of a breach in, someone else's security again, and so therefore, I have to go and check to make sure none of my information was used incorrectly. So it's important to go and be vigilant about identity theft. In most cases, it's not like someone physically went to your house and stole your social security card and that's how they took your identity. It's stuff that's online that you can't help anyway. Anyway, after going into the sad yet necessary information about how identity theft works and how to work on restoring your credit afterwards. It then goes into a section on stewardship. Now, if you watch the episode that's going to be linked up here, which is the very first episode on the show I appear on, we do an important episode on 3 T's of stewardship: time, talent, and tacos. As the author points out, that stewardship is not just giving money. Stewardship has to do with giving money and also helping out where you can. They use the corporal works of mercy as a starting point, and then also include ways that you can let your children help out. So anyway, one of the homework ideas that they suggest for this, along with dealing with your own personal finances, budgeting, talking to your spouse about the budget, is finding a way in which you can do stewardship of actually using your time, using your gifts to help people out as a family. And of course, it also has web resources that deal with the main points, such as help with budgeting, help in cases of identity theft, in an organization where you can either get help or use it as a stewardship opportunity to get involved with helping others. So, go down below, hit subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell so you know when the next episode is coming up. Comment below with a budgeting or money use tip that you found to be most useful, especially something simple like, do you shop on a full stomach? Do you shop on an empty stomach? Because otherwise you won't buy anything. Because like when I shop with Nate, he needs to be hungry. Otherwise it doesn't matter what it is. He's like, I'm not hungry this moment. I don't care about food. Why are we buying it now? Anyway, comment below with that. Until next time, remember to live your faith, love your faith, share that love.